tons of examples of TV characters that started off small but proved so popular that they eventually became leads.
Did I do that?
But a few of these characters not only started small, but were originally meant to be killed off early on, some even after their first episode. Here are the top 5 TV characters that were originally meant to be killed off quickly, but instead went on to become a fan favorite and a core part of the show. At number 5, it's NoHo Hank on Barry.
Hey man, you must be Batty. I'm NoHo Hank.
Like so many of the colorful characters on Barry through the years, NoHo Hank was originally intended to show up, make a splash, and get killed off early.
Well, that is a bummer.
But once rehearsal started with actor Anthony Carrigan, the creators quickly realized his portrayal was just too lovable and hilarious to lose so quickly.
Right, duh.
In fact, Hank not only lasted until the very last episode, but for many is their fan favorite of the show.
What? Legend. Oh, wow. Okay, you're still tender.
At number 4, it's Steve Harrington on Stranger Things.
Hey! Oh!
How many children are you friends with?
Steve Harrington was originally introduced as more of an antagonist on Stranger Things.
Here you go, man. Come on, let's go. The game's about to start.
He was the popular, good-looking boyfriend that was holding Nancy back from who she was truly meant to be with.
Is that so?
Yeah.
And like so much of the Duffer Brothers creation, Steve's storyline was originally intended to pay tribute to 1980s pop culture and the popular guy in high school trope. He also wasn't meant to hang around very long.
Season 1, you're like, that guy's gonna get killed off. It's so
That was
wonderfully
the plan.
surprising. Oh, was the plan to kill Steve?
Well,
But the casting of Joe Carey would ultimately change the Duffers' plans.
it's not like we're making it all up as we go along, but actors and everyone who works on the show informs what we're doing.
He was just too likable to be relegated to a two-dimensional stereotype, and the Duffers ultimately realized that there was a much more interesting journey to be had if his character evolved and became a part of the team. At number 3, it's Juliana Margulies as Dr. Carol Hathaway on ER.
Get on the PA and tell the idiot with the red BMW to get out of my parking spot.
In the original pilot that was filmed for ER, Carol Hathaway actually takes her own life by the end of the episode.
How this happened to her, of all people?
But test audiences reacted very negatively to this. They had come to like the character and the potential of a relationship between she and George Clooney's Doug Ross. Nurses in the test audience especially reacted negatively, seeing a strong female empowering their position on screen and then meeting such a fate.
Registered nurses are the best trained and most versatile part of the entire nursing staff.
Thank you.
As the story goes, George Clooney actually called Juliana Margulies after the pilot had been tested and told her to hold off on taking another job, as the rumor was they were going to keep her around. Ultimately, she remained on the show as one of its most popular stars for 6 more seasons.
Well, to say I feel lucky would be kind of an understatement.
At number 2, it's Jesse Pinkman on Breaking Bad.
Who do you think you are? I'm the guy your boss brought here to show you how it's done.
Creator Vince Gilligan has said that his original intention with the Pinkman character was to have him violently killed off at the end of the first season.
The idea was Jesse was going to get killed in some drug deal gone terribly awry. And it was grist for the mill. It was just going to be a way to make Walt feel really, really bad.
But as season 1 progressed and actor Aaron Paul injected more and more humanity and likability into a character that was originally intended to be pretty unlikable,
Yeah, Mr. White. Yeah, science.
Gilligan realized that killing him off would be far too great a loss for the show.
And in your world, I'm the idiot.
And at number 1, it's Daryl Dixon on The Walking Dead.
You liar. I'm not lying.
Obviously, The Walking Dead is no stranger to killing off main characters, but Daryl was actually never even really intended to be that major of a character.
It's a damn shame.
He wasn't based on anyone from the original comic book and came about when actor Norman Reedus auditioned for the character of Merle Dixon.
How's about a big hug for your old pal Merle?
That part ended up going to Michael Rooker, but writer-director Frank Darabont loved his audition so much that he created the character of Daryl specifically for him.
I went in and I read Merle's lines, and when I left, I got a phone call that Frank created a new character. So that's how that happened.
Still, the plan was to have him in just a few episodes before giving him a Walking Dead-style gory death in the middle of the first season.
My day just gets better and better, don't it?
Those plans changed as soon as audiences were introduced to Norman Reedus and immediately connected with him over even the series leads.
Maybe I could have done something.
He became and still is the fan favorite character of the show, and the producers quickly realized he wasn't going anywhere.